Hello there everyone, my name is Crazy Caleb, and today you're going to be getting a 2-in-1 deal with tutorials. So this is going to be us taking a look at black screens and not black screens. Both of these modules are fairly simple to do, and they are pretty easy to understand. It's just we need to, I figured it might be easier to cover them both in one tutorial video rather than them being separate. It's just much easier to have both of them in the back of your knowledge. So black screens is going to be, the difference between the two of them is black screens is the one that is going to have letters on it, in this case A, B, and C, and a series of different counts for them, whereas not black screens is going to have quite a few differences with this module here. Number one, the display at the bottom, in this case where the Charlies would normally be, and by the way, they will always be in that A, B, and C position for normal black screens. Not black screens display is actually going to have nothing in it, and it's going to be much smaller down at the bottom. There will be now numbers present instead of just letter counts. And there will be two red buttons in this case that will be down in the bottom right here. So that's going to be important. So let's take a look and let's actually get into black screens first. So black screens here is going to be us wanting to press a series of different buttons represented in the middle here, whereas with this one we're actually not even going to be able to press these buttons in the center at all. We're only going to be focusing on these two buttons down here. So let's get right into it. So on the subject of black screens. So, hello expert, we've sent you a mission to crack the code of this Barney module. The bomb where your module will contain all code info, so no fretting, just chopping. Yes, I literally just read that out loud. Screen messages. So what we have here is at least the first things first. We actually need to get the values, the counts of each of the letters here in A, B, and C. So in this case, this is going to represent a 4, 2, and a 5. And this is going to be used as different parts of our code here. Now, what exactly do we want to do here? So when all row locks have been disabled, simply fool the bomb into solving the module by pressing the center button. So our center button is essentially going to be the submit button right here, but we need to find a way how to do two things. We need to go through all of the conditions here. We don't have to go through every single step, but there's going to be one little area for each of the three codes that we need to go through based off of the number that we get for each individual screen. And what's going to happen here is that we need to simply figure out which conditions apply for those that include unlocking the top row or simply disabling the locks. We need to press those guys in this module here. That's all we're simply going to be doing with this module. So let's get right into this. So code 1 is going to be represented by alpha, code 2 is going to be represented by bravo, and code 3 is going to be represented by the amount of Charlies. These numbers, essentially. Pretty straightforward, doesn't ask you that much. So for code 1, we currently have the number of 4 for our first code, so the screen number is going to be between 3 and 5, which is going to be right here. And we're going to go down condition by condition. We're going to mainly focus on the ones that will disable the locks or unlock the top row, because we want to avoid the ones that have to do with strikes. We simply just don't want it to strike. We're simply going to ignore this rule. So our first condition is if there are 15 minutes or less. In this instance, we have 116, so this is not true. If there are more than 10 minutes on the bomb, in this case that is obviously true. The second one will indeed strike you, so just do not press that. And if there are 10 or less batteries in the bomb, that's a big one, a third will unlock the top row. And in this instance, there is only 5 batteries, so this one is going to be safe to press. The third one will unlock the top row, and we're going to want to click this one. And we will hear that sound. That means that is a correct press. So now we've done code 1. So now we're going to go down to code 2 in the middle row. And the screen number for this was a 2. In this case, the screen number is bigger than 1. And if there are no 2 factors, the first one will disable the locks. And I actually don't have 2 factors on it. I simply do not have this enabled, so this is not going to be true. So this is going to be true rather because there are no 2 factors. And the first one will disable the lock. And that's simply all we need to press for this one. And that's good to go. So, finally for code 3, the screen number will be between 1 and 3. It is actually going to be 5, so it's going to be between 4 and 7. And if there are 3 or less strikes on the bomb, the first one will disable the locks. In this instance, we have 0 strikes, so this is going to be the first one that will disable the locks. We've done 1 press for each row. In this case, these 2 are disabling the locks. This one unlocks the top row. Now, all we simply need to do is we need to simply press the submit button in the middle, and just like that is a solved module. A little red button comes down in the bottom right. We don't need to worry about that at all, though. So, that is black screens. And all you simply need to do is you need to simply find the ones that will disable the locks, and there you go. Pretty straightforward. So, let's get right into this next one here. So, not black screens works a little bit differently. And this one actually I would consider is a lot easier because a lot of this is essentially just basic math here. So, Let's take a look here. So we're going to, you have to take the top screen number and apply rules to the number depending on the right screen number. It is very important that when you modify the numbers, you must modify the current number, not the original number. The original number is only used at the beginning. So in this case, our top display is going to be what we're going to be starting off with here. So in this case, 2. And we're going to be modifying it using the right number over here. So we're going to modify the display number and note that all of the statements have to be checked. So we're just simply going to go through all the conditions here. Okay. So first things first, if the right display number is prime, take the top display number, add it to the right display number, and then we're going to take that number and multiply it by the right display number. So in this case, what's going to happen here is we're going to pop out our handy dandy calculator. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 plus 7. And then now what we're going to do is we're now going to multiply it by the right display number, multiply it by 7. And just like that, we get the number of 63 here. And if the right display number is even, that is not true. If the right display number is odd, this is indeed true, we're going to multiply the current number by 9 and then add 3 to this. So times by 9, adding 3 to it, is going to give us 570. And if the right display number is equal to the current number, it is definitely not. So don't worry about it. It's not equal. 570 is most certainly not equal to that. And after applying all of these rules, modulo your number by 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to simply take the last digit, in this case being a 0, and we're simply going to be getting our number of 0. So now that we have our number, just press the right big red button that amount of times, and then press the left big red button to submit. Now in this case, we don't have to press the right button at all. So all we simply need to do is press the left button to submit 0 in this case, because we're not pressing the right button at all, and we're going to get this module. And just like that is a solved module. Keep in mind that when you modulo your number, there is obviously the possibility of us getting 0, like we just did here. This is not mean we're pressing it 10 times. This means we're pressing it 0 times. And just like that, this is a solved module. These modules are fairly simple, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this tutorial. As always, thank you guys for watching once again. Stay crazy, stay cool, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.